have internet, so they'll see the live stream. They actually do that? Like they actually bring the arrested person to the funeral to feel the sins? Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
They do that? Like they take the arrested person to the funeral to feel the sins of what they caused? That's hella dark. Woo.
Yeah, but they're cheering for him. And it's just not a game. If it's
an act. It's an act. It's a skit.
If it's a real one, it's very, very mean.
Yeah, of course.
Prometere. I'm just going to say that word one more time. Prometere. That's a Latin word that everyone in this room knows. It's a word we were given when we were young, and we understood it, and we took hold of it. And as we get older, it becomes more important in our most loving and our deepest relationships, until it becomes the foundation for which that one special, loving relationship will be built on. It's also a word we go to in a time of tragedy when we need strength and something to lean on. Prometere means promise. A statement telling someone that you will definitely do something or something will definitely get done. Merriam-Webster Dictionary. We're here today to talk about choices, and eventually, towards the end, I'm hoping each and every one of you will make a promise, not to me, not to your parents, but to yourselves, that you will take care of yourself and you will make the right choice. I've got a friend who's a judge here in San Joaquin County, and one of the things he talks about is a 1.8 second decision. That's how long it takes to put the key in and turn it. When given that choice, if you've consumed alcohol, or the driver of your vehicle has consumed alcohol, in that 1.8 seconds, will you make the right choice? Because the choices that you make don't just affect you. Lincoln High School, this is your every 15 minutes.
Where are you?
very good. If you want to pick us up, I'm out in the front and my second in the front. So hey, what's up, Mace? Here we go, boy. I'm not even lying. I just got home from Stanford. You're okay. The game is ended right now. But I don't even know if I'm ready to like go out and go. We gotta hit the after party. I know you want to go, but like I'm head. No, trust me. So you know we're a little tired. I'm telling you, bro. Are you gonna drive? Yes, I'm good. If you're driving, just come pick me up. It's good, bro. I can come pick you up. My mom thinks I should stay home. No, you're fine. I'll be back. Give me like 15 minutes. I'll pick you up. I got change, shower, and then just come out.
For real. Yeah, I know you still in the football coach and everything. There you go, buddy.
We're so late for shorts. Yeah, tell me about it. I have to leave for the band trip tomorrow.
It is our senior year, second semester, and we make sure everything learns with fun things.
Yeah, no, I gotta get these academic scholarships, so I cannot. I have no idea. Somewhere on the East Coast, but just waiting to figure out.
I was thinking about when we do leave, actually. I don't know if that happened. Really? I didn't even know. I got social. Yeah, I know. It's questions. My parents were like thinking I wasn't so sensitive. So I'm really grateful.
Great, because I was looking great to again so on and stuff. Like applying to colleges and all that kind of stuff. So
I was just you know, and I also do stuff later on, so.
Dirt trip though, the AP test really isn't that hard.
really,
Yeah, no, I have fun. It's really all about if we get something back from the ground, it's probably back.
yeah, it's really making us look better. It's just that
Yeah, no, not with this project. We're not doing it.
So we ended up doing it, like,
Guys, I don't really need that tonight. After a while.
Like, actually, I think like 15, 20 more minutes just
I'm sorry, I have to walk out of the anyway. Yes, please. I can take everybody anywhere. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
How sorry.
Nancy Way by Lincoln High School. Do you know the street on the corner? You don't know your street on the corner? Okay, is anybody injured? What happened? What happened to Emma? She went through the picture. She's not moving. Okay. Okay, so you don't have to. There's blood. There's a lot of blood. You don't have to park around. Okay. There's 6 cars. Okay, so go with it.
Damn.
We're gonna hurry. Take a deep breath. We're on the way.
Fake blood. There's an actual thing called fake blood. That's what they. Yeah, it's kind of like it. It's kind of like it. Oh shit, I'm not recording it.
Oh, we just got a couple train stations and it's fine. I thought we were gonna make it home, the other car. I think there's like 2 people dead. You know, like I didn't want it to be like that.
You okay?
This is 18-year-old male, status post MBA, looks like he had some alcohol involved in this accident. He's got GCS, he is not responsive. And started I don't like the way he's breathing. I would start giving him some air. Okay? Then let's take a look at it. His pupils are fixed on the left. Slowly reacting on the right. Even not reacting. Hello, 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 hello. I have no reaction. GCS is 3. Second reactivation, please. Also, we've got a whole bunch of looks like possible flail. I need a chest tube set up by now. I need a orthotic tray as well. Okay, we have a systole on our monitor. We do not have a pulse. Alright, any pulse? We've got no pulse, and now they have the moral. Let's keep CPR going. Let's give another ambi. No pulse. No. Let's do it one more time. One more ambi, please. Alright, let's try to pulse down. I got the pulse. Right. So we can call this 11:54 time of death. Do you have family here?
You will be able to call your mom anytime of free phone calls once you get to the county jail, okay? Like I said, you're going to be booked in the county jail and you need arraignment. So you get sent to arraignment, you'll find out more, okay? So then sit back for me and then we'll take you down to the county jail, alright?
Oh, the mugshot. Told you. That's an actual jail. I know. That was. Oh, let's see. There you go.
Hey, sweet.
unfortunately. So I had to kill somebody. So, yeah. And one small constant is gonna have a major impact on his life.
I'm Scott. I'm Anthony with the Sheriff's Office. How are you? It's my partner, Anthony Parker. Do you mind if you come in and talk to me for a moment? May I sit down? Sure. With the Sheriff's Office. My partner, Anthony Parker. Do you recognize these items?
Yes.
Yeah. You actually. Okay. I have to deliver some devastating news. Your daughter was in a car accident. She was hit by a DUI driver. And unfortunately, injuries she sustained, she did not get in. So she's dead. Are you sure? Yes, sir. These are her items. She is at a funeral home in town. When you guys are ready, sure time, we can either take you guys there. It's a very emotional time. So you let us know what we're going to do so you can confirm that. I'm sorry. Would you guys like to subscribe to you?
I think so, yeah.
You hold this stream up while I get a drink of water. Okay, go ahead. Thanks. Love you. You alright? After the stream's over.
Remain seated in order, workshop session. Good afternoon, calling the case of People versus David and Julia Mack, counsel
Tiffany Zadelas on behalf of Mr. Julio Max, he's present before the court in custody.
Good afternoon again. We're on today for sentencing. Mr. Julio Max decided to enter a plea of guilty to the pending charges of Penal Code Section 187, also charged in the alternative violation of Penal Code Section 191.5, gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. Today
and changing not just your life, but changing the life of others. I won't get you, I can't do that. Emma wouldn't want us to. I don't know that I've forgiven you, not yet. Maybe with time, only God can do that. The second impact statement was sent to me by Ms. Maloney, who was also unable to be here. Our lives are upside down. Your actions took away our sin from us. There are no words to describe how we feel. It would have been easier if you would have reached into my chest and ripped my heart out. God forgive me. I hope this will haunt you forever. Your Honor, the actions of the defendants can only be described as selfish, reckless, and complete disregard for others. And he is charged and pled with homicide, 187, and also gross vehicular homicide. However, Your Honor, I believe that it's appropriate to sentence him to the 15 life on those charges. And that's because the circumstances related to revolving around this case are one that are very egregious.
In the coming argument, we would ask this court to exercise its discretion and consider probation for Mason, both because he is young and because he has significantly contributed to his community. As a student at Lincoln High School, he worked side by side playing football with his best friend, Tyrone Deloney. That will forever scar him and remind him that he has lost not only a best friend, but someone who had a very similar future path as Mr. Julian Matz. For those reasons, we would respectfully request that the court have him serve time locally and not endanger him any further by sentencing him to CDCR. Thank you.
These are the hardest cases for the reasons you both explained. What happens here is truly a tragedy. While it is true the defendant is young and has no record and decided to resolve his case early and take responsibility, the same could have been said as to the victims in this case who were young and had no record. The difference between the victims and the defendant was the one whose choice resulted in this horrific tragedy. The victims in this case had no choice. There is nothing the court can do today to undo one bad decision that Mr. Julio Matz made. The defendant having pled guilty, the court has sentenced him on the charge of Penal Code Section 187 to 2 counts, which are 2 counts of second-degree murder per victim. That will be 15 years to life. However, the court is going to exercise its discretion and allow him to serve those concurrently. In addition, he will owe a $5,000 fine for each victim, and he will owe restitution for funeral and medical expenses to be determined. At this time, Mr. Julio Matz is remanded to the custody of the sheriff to await transportation to prison. The court is in recess.
One small consequence here. Let me try to make myself.
Good morning, Lincoln High School. My name is Officer Jones, and I'm an officer with the California Highway Patrol. Along with a partnership with the Office of Traffic Safety, we are the holders of the grant for the every 15 minutes. But we don't activate until we're called. We don't come out unless we're requested. Mrs. Cunningham and Mr. Hancock called me, and they said they want to do a program here. But why? Because they have a deep love and care for the school and for each and every one of you in this gym. And they want to see you live long. They want to see you prosper. They have Trojan pride. And I want you to do something for me. Imagine you're walking through a forest and there's a pond that you come upon. And it's very still. The sun is shimmering off the pond, so much so it looks like glass. And you take a rock, and you throw it in the middle of the pond, and kerplunk. And kerplunk is the impact of a DUI crash. And then what happens after that? A ripple forms, a circle, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And another one forms, and another one. So we're here today to talk about consequences, choices. Those ripple effects are long-lasting and far-reaching in a devastating DUI crash. Consequences are long-lasting. Here to talk about some of her experiences with DUI and those consequences is a sitting and presiding judge here in San Joaquin County Superior Court, Judge Aaron Castillo.
Thank you, Officer Jones. Good morning, Lincoln High School. There are many of you out there that have dreams, goals, want to see your future. Those of you that want to be veterinarians, pharmacists, nurses, police officers, you get one DUI, you're done. I had a trial with a young lady who was 23, weeks away from fulfilling her dream of being a veterinarian, working with large animals, horses. She decided to go party with her friends, and then she decided to drive, and she ended up on the wrong way of the highway, passed out with her car running, and CHP found her. She was a .19 passed out at the wheel. She will never be a veterinarian. And unfortunately, every week I see hundreds of people that look just like you, that look just like your parents, that look just like your neighbors. And they've all made a choice to drink, to consume edibles, and get behind the wheel of a car. And not only are their lives changed, but what about the life of the person in the casket behind me? And what about their family and their loved ones who will never see a sister or a brother or a cousin or an aunt or an uncle? Mr. DiGiulio Matz, you all think you're not him. And I hope that that is true for all of you, because Mr. DiGiulio Matz made a very selfish choice. And that choice doesn't end in the criminal justice system. There could be a lawsuit against him and his family for millions of dollars for the pain that he caused to those people who are no longer with us. Do you think that when Mr. DiGiulio Matz or anyone who serves time in prison is welcomed back to their community? Are they the person on your list to invite over for Christmas and birthday parties? Just 2 weeks ago, a 17-year-old from Lathrup High School was sentenced to 5 years in prison because that person decided to consume edibles, and instead of turning where they were supposed to turn on the Levee Road, ran straight on into the levee and killed their passenger classmate. That person is now spending 5 years in state prison. So I know all of you are sitting there thinking, okay, I'm not that person, and I'm not Mr. DiGiulio Matz. But you have prom next month. I saw your sign. You have graduation, and then you have college, birthday parties, you have other things. But what about the person that you're partying with and they're supposed to be your designated driver and they make a different choice? Are you going to let them get behind the wheel of a car? All right. Friends don't let friends drive drunk, drive high. So you should make a promise not just to what you'll do in a 1.8 second choice, but what will you do for someone else who makes a bad choice? Will you promise, because you could make a difference in that person being Mr. DeJulio Matz, or that person being in this casket right next to me. So don't forget, as your life goes on, this is not about today or next year. This is for decades to come. Because those people that I talked about, they're young, they're old, they come from all different backgrounds, rich, poor, educated, not educated. DUIs do not discriminate. You can have a family. I recently had a gentleman who was 71 years old, lived a relatively crime-free life, but decided to drink and drive. I promise you, this is what I did on the video, that's justice. But I lay awake at night thinking, did I do the right thing for people like Mr. DeJulio Matz? I wake up at night to calls from CHP for people that have been driving and need to have their blood drawn. Because they're so drunk, they can't even give their consent to take a breath test or blood draw. I have many sleepless nights because people make selfish choices. Don't be that person. Let me see you as a lawyer, as a judge, on jury service. But don't be that person who makes that bad choice. I promise you, it is never the wrong time to do the right thing. I promise you that it is never the wrong time to do the right thing.
And so we know consequences. Mason's going to do 15 to life. What about the consequences for Tyrone? He's gone. He's dead. But what you think about something? Think about something. What if you were involved in a terrible, a horrific, a devastating DUI crash? But you lived. You lived. What would life look like? How would your family deal with it? What would everyday life be moving forward? To tell his story about just what I described is my friend, Amanda Russ.
Hey, man, just stay right there, man. Man, get out of here. What's up, man?
40. 6675, 851, showing 94 rich. Long pickup. She's late for evidence. Copy 667, 581, Eco, 94 rich. Overall, pickup. She's late for evidence. Copy network, taking all the to the yard. It's in for coming up 1 to 15 to get late. 4841, go ahead. 4841, second Memorial Line, I'd like to party like 44. They have possible idea of lots of first of Daniel and Old Alberto, 723 to 76. They're currently out of March 19 and if we have any contact with the family. 4841, thank you.
Aye. Damn. From all the shards of glass. That's from all glass shards.
See, this reason I'm being sitting here today is my family's reality. 11:44, the hospital said I wasn't going to survive. So what you see here today is a fact. So now may I please ask for everybody to do me a favor and close your eyes.
Okay.
Now I want you to picture and imagine your everyday morning routine. What is it that you do every morning when you wake up? Get your day started. You guys get on your phone, text your homeboys, your homegirls, whatever the case may be. Parents, you get ready, drink your coffee. Now before you leave your house,
I think so. She went that way, but she hasn't came back.
do you tell your loved ones you love them? You give them a hug? Do you remember what they were wearing? Do you remember their smile? Can you see it? Now imagine waking up from a coma, looking into exactly what you're looking into right now. Pitch black. Now ask for everybody, can you please open your eyes? You see, I'm a living testimony and literally a walking miracle. As for me, everybody at the hospital, all the doctors, all the surgeons, literally they have no faith in me living. I'm supposed to be just a memory. So let me take you to my everyday morning routine. So I used to wake up every morning about 10 to 20 minutes before my alarm went off. This particular morning, I woke up about 10 minutes. My youngest daughter used to come in the room, sleep on the edge of the bed, and I would wake her up until I would sleep on one side of the bed. Well, I got up, got ready, and I told my daughter, baby girl. Well, actually, I said birthday girl because she's born on her birthday. So she called me birthday boy, I called her birthday girl. So I told her, birthday girl, why don't you get up, sleep on my side of the bed, baby? And she used to wake up and smile. Her smile always starts with her eyes. Her eyes would smile first and just glow. And then she has a big cheesy smile. And she said, okay, my birthday boy, I love you. I told her, I love you too, baby girl. That was the last time I ever got to see my daughter's beautiful smile. So I went over to my wife's side of the bed, woke her up, gave her a kiss, and I told her, babe, we're going to work now. She woke up, gave me that half smile, half a sleep. She said, okay, baby, I love you. I told her, I love you too, babe. She said, be safe. And I told her, always. That was the last time I've ever got to see my beautiful wife. She was the last person I've ever seen. So with that said, to make a long story short, I was on my way to work, and I see this car swerving. My main way to work was this person's back road. Well, I'm going to say, this person's headed back to this party. I know this because this person happened running my oldest son's circle. And, I know more behind the story. But this person's back road was my main way to work. But I seen a car swerving. I didn't think nothing of it. It was 4:50 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. I was thinking they were headed to work or getting off of work. They probably dropped their coffee. They corrected themselves. Now, as we got closer, they swerved into my lane again. And I went to go maneuver my way out of this person's way. And obviously, I didn't do it in time. So I remember getting in an accident, and I remember, as you've seen in the video, that's live footage and the real dispatch. Edited to fit the video. So I remember in my head I was thinking, I didn't say that people in another car. I was in a bad accident. Then I remember my son used to go with me to work sometimes because I was a truck driver. That's when I started flipping out. In my head I was screaming his name. I was looking for him. I couldn't see him. So remind you, it took fire department 45 minutes with the jaws of life to get him out of my pickup truck. But I don't remember none of that. I remember being in the ambulance, hearing my wife's voice telling me, "Babe, it's gonna be okay. Let them do their job. Let them do their job." So I remember waking up, hearing my kids crying. Couldn't see nothing but pitch black. Hearing my kids crying, hearing my wife crying, hearing this voice, which is not the first time I'm going to find out, but hearing this voice telling my wife and my kids, "You just seen everything I just did. You just seen all the tests I did. You guys really got to think about it and take them off the machine." Pretty much put the blood on me because there's no faith, no chance of me living. Now when I heard this, I couldn't speak because I had a trach on my throat. My whole body felt paralyzed. I couldn't move. So I knew they were talking about me. I forced my body to sit up. And as soon as I did that, I heard the nurses and the doctor kind of flip out. So next thing you know, I woke up again. I guess they put me to sleep. I woke up again to the same thing. This is my kids crying. This is my wife crying. Hearing the same voice telling my wife, with all his brain damage he took, he's not going to have no memory. He's not going to remember you, let alone remember his own kids. Now I remind you, he had a brain bleeding in the part of my brain that was non-surgical. When he was saying this, in my head I was thinking, what are you lying for? I remember everything. So I sat up and I started moving my hand. Give me something to write with. Honestly, it's not like the nurses and everybody's playing charades with me. But my wife said, "I think you want something to write with." You see, before that, my wife did have 2 officers go to the door. When she was able to see me, at the time, the way they described me, I was all swollen, purple, dark purple, black. I had blood coming out of my ears. My eyes were sticking out of my head like golf balls. I had blood coming out of my eyeballs. I had blood coming out of my nose, my mouth. The only way they were able to tell it was me is because of my granddaughter's name I got tattooed on my head. Because I saw they were able to see that and covered with a sheet. And the reason for that is because my shoulder was sticking out of my skin. My femur, my bone right here on my forearm was sticking out of my forearm. My femur was sticking out of my leg, and my foot was declubbed. So they had to reconstruct my whole face, which they might have to do it again. I just had total reverse shoulder replacement. I already had 2 surgeries on my femur, not including the original surgery. I need a knee replacement, so much more. But I just found out I might need another finger surgery. So I'm looking to more surgeries. But that's the medical part. So let me speak now about the ripple effect. I'm not going to speak too much of it because I'm trying to make a long story short. So much to speak on. I'm not going to speak on how I never said my daughter's going to marry. My son graduates this year. I want to see him off the stage. I want to see my daughters go to prom. I got grandkids. I have no clue what they look like. I'm pretty sure I got more sooner or later on the way. I'm not going to speak about all that, but what I am going to speak about is this. Speaking with my wife a couple days ago, we have a couple sons that passed away. This has nothing to do with this. But she had told me, how you feel during the day. Just last Tuesday, my son would be 21. One of my sons would be 21. She said, how it feels during the holidays, the dates of their passing, their birthdays. I'm not going to get too detailed. How you feel? I was like, yeah. She said, that's how we feel every time you go to one of your events. And you speak the reenactment, how real it is, how surreal it is, the way it takes you back. That's how we feel. And I give her so much credit for supporting me because she said, we support you because we know we're saving lives. We know you're doing something positive. We know you're turning your negative into a positive. We know that we're helping another family not to go through what we're going through. We got a lifetime of ripple effects. I'm not going to get into all that. But she said, we know we're helping somebody else's family to not go through what we're going through. You see, you guys, I consider myself a leader, not a victim. The reason being is because I'm supposed to be just a memory. Instead, I'm making memories. I'm turning my negative into a positive. So I want every single one of you guys, and don't do it for me. Do it for yourself, do it for your family and your friends. Don't drink and drive. If you see a friend or family ready to drink and drive, stand up. Take that stand, because you never know what it will be. With that said, I'd like to thank every single person that's involved in this program, because this reenactment is a fact. I'd like to thank Lincoln High School for having me here today. I'd like to thank each and every single one of you guys for listening to my story, my reality. I'd like to give a special thank you to my friend, California Highway Patrol Officer, Ruben Jones.
so many times, and it's hard to remember every single detail. But there's one thing that he didn't mention that I want to bring to your attention about those ripple effects. Manuel was the sole provider for his family. How many kids, Manuel? 9 kids, sole provider. The young lady, I don't know if you did say this, she didn't have insurance. And she wasn't working. Left the family homeless for a year. They're just now starting to get back on their feet. That's the ripple effects of a DUI crash. We've got a couple more speakers. Next young lady is going to talk about an experience, her experience with DUI and what one of her friends went through. So here to talk to you is Brittany Gomez.
For killing 2 people while driving under the influence of marijuana when she was only 16 years old. My friend was just like you guys, sitting on the bleachers, going to school, full of life, but she wasn't making the smartest decisions to live by. I wish I could tell you that my friend had a bad upbringing to try to justify her poor decisions just a tad bit, that she grew up in poverty, had bad parents who wouldn't acknowledge her, or didn't have family to stand behind her, but this wouldn't be true. My friend was raised in a traditional Hispanic home. She comes from a very family-oriented family, a loving but stern mother, a hard-working father who went to college, raised 6 kids, and taught them how to work on cars so as a mechanic. Her parents didn't fail to instill good morals and thinking skills onto her, but my friend failed to take heed of these things and decided to go against what she knew was wrong. My friend started smoking weed when she was 14 years old. She started smoking a blunt every morning and trying to hide it from her teachers and parents by putting on eye drops and perfume to cover it up. She thought it wasn't so bad because she wasn't using alcohol and popping pills. She kept telling herself it's just a natural herb after all. This became an everyday lifestyle for her. She would wake up and seek her high, slowly progressing to smoking just one joint to several all throughout the day. This became her addiction, with her being in denial that she could stop if she really wanted to. My friend started selling weed at the age of 15. She went against her family's upbringing to have a legal job and make a life for herself with clean, hard-working money. She chose the fast life instead and started thinking she was invincible by dodging law enforcement. She went against her morals and started taking her parents' vehicle to go sell and drop off weed to other young and older kids, to their parents' homes, parks, parties, and even stooped down to a low level and would go to local schools. She was able to take her family out and pay for the bill. She had all the nice designer purses and clothes. At 16 years old, she took driver's ed and was able to get a provisional license. She was then able to buy herself a Mercedes-Benz. Having all these nice things, she started to feel like she was prospering at what she was doing. Little did she know that she was heading in the path of self-destruction. My friend was focused on all the wrong things. All these things stemmed from her being self-centered, greedy, and always wanting more and more. My friend was never satisfied. She thought because she was being flashy on Snapchat and had a lot of followers on social media that she was being seen.
Lauren, is he okay?
She felt invincible, like she was never going to get caught. That driving high would never harm nobody else because she was good at it. It's tragic that my friend had to go through a devastating event to have her eyes open. On November 29th of 2017, my friend went to go pick up her brother Julian and her friend Hayden from the music studio late at night. She was tired that night, was smoking weed during the day, but felt like she was still capable of driving at night. She prided herself on getting her friend home. then getting her little brother and herself home. She was driving down a residential street, listening to music loud in the car, laughing together and enjoying the ride. Next thing she knew, she went through the intersection, T-boned the car that was crossing that same intersection. She told me all she remembered was her brother screaming before everything went black. She remembered opening up her eyes after a while and seeing her airbags popped. The car smoking and loud sirens coming from several directions. She hopped out and helped her brother out the car, then carried her friend out the vehicle because he was passed out in the back seat. The other car was flipped upside down. My friend thought this was a nightmare, but it was her reality. At the hospital, she was informed that the results of her actions led to this vehicle collision, which both people in the other car had died. They drew blood from her and it came up positive for marijuana. Because she was found as a DUI, she was charged with 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of gross vehicular manslaughter, 2 counts of great bodily injury from her brothers and friends' injuries, and 1 count of DUI. This horrible realization of what just transpired to my friend within the blink of an eye to someone who thought this would never happen to her could happen to anyone who follows her footsteps. This helps me give back to the community by helping others. I did this horrible senseless act 60 years ago when I was 16 years old because I refused to listen to my parents, to live the right way and not see all the red flags that I was doing. I kept smoking weed every single day and drinking and driving under the influence, thinking I was good at it, thinking I would never get caught or harm someone else. If you can relate to what I'm saying, please open your eyes. Please don't wait till it's too late and end up like myself. Driving under the influence of weed, alcohol, pills, or other drugs can end someone else's life and your own life in a car wreck. Think about it, doing all of these things I do is worth taking a life. I took 2 souls who should have still been here living their life. I destroyed a family and caused heartache to so many people involved in this. If my story can impact or change the way at least one of you kids sitting in the bleachers think today, then telling my story is worth it.
The consequences are real. Unfortunately, these incidents keep happening. And because that's the case, there's always going to be somebody with a story to tell about their experiences with DUI. To talk about his experience with DUI is retired lieutenant from our San Joaquin County Sheriff's Department, Chris Stevens.
All right. I was your narrator yesterday at the crash, for those of you that couldn't see. Normally, I just start off talking about what it means when you die. But I think before I talk about that, I ask you to burn into your memory what happens when people live and the impact that it has on their lives. Because if you die and you're the driver and you leave a manual behind, you'll live on in the memories of all those people who suffer. See, we call it a cold notification. The San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, when they notify a family that someone they love is gone, someone they love has died, they always send 2 deputies. Because it's not unusual for your parents to physically attack the person who tells them that you're dead. They lash out. We always send 2 cops. And I knocked on a lot of doors in my career. And I'll tell you a little something. As I walk towards that front door, getting ready to tap on it and tell somebody that their lives are going to be changed, I don't wonder what I'm going to say. I know what I'm going to say. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Moyle, Mr. and Mrs. Sanchez, Mr. and Mrs. Washington. I'm Deputy Stevens. May I come in, please? I have bad news for you. I know what I'm going to say. What I was thinking every time I walked up there was, hi, I'm here to screw up the rest of your life. And every time you remember hearing your kid was dead, you're going to remember this face. And those were the times I wished I'd found another way to make a living. Because I didn't want to do that. I tell your parents that you're dead, things are going to happen. That rock that gets dropped in that pond, those ripples are going to keep going. Your dad will gain weight, lose weight, become less effective at work. If you did something together, coffee on Saturdays, or play golf, or go fishing, or like my daughter and I sneak off a couple, 3 times a year to Disneyland, you won't do that anymore. And your mom will go in and straighten up and clean up your room. And then every once in a while she's going to walk in and grab your pillow and hold it to her face so she can smell you again. Now I got some of you are going, dude. Some of you are going, look, you don't know how me and my parents are getting along right now. They may not miss me quite that much, right? Let me tell you something. We want you to grow up. Your parents, they want you to become a full-fledged adult who is living a wonderful life. You know why? Well, because we love you and we're looking for grandchildren someday. But more than that, you are so freaking expensive right now. Now, I hear all the parents laughing, but I don't hear you guys laughing. Trust me. I had somebody ask me one time, it was a group of people, and they said, please stand up and say what your favorite words you like to hear are. And all these young parents get up and say, my favorite words are, I love you, Daddy, I love you, Mom. My favorite words are, oh, look, you're home. You know what my favorite words are? Hey, Dad, I'm buying dinner tonight. Would you all please stand up for me for just a second? Hey, do me a little favor. Don't leave. You're not dismissed. Trust me, you're not dismissed. Stretch. Shake your booty around just a little tiny bit for me, please. seat.
I want to stay.
I told you to spin. Just hang on with me.
Hey, where's she going?
This bunch up here is ready for something to happen. Let me ask you a question. How many of you are a big brother, big sister? You got little brother, little sister? Huh? See all those hands? I love seeing all those hands. You know you're their hero, don't you? You know your little brother, your little sister, they think you're awesome. My big brother, listen to little kids, you'll hear them. My big brother could beat up your big brother. Our big brothers are good friends. Why would they beat each other up? Way up skill. My big sister. My big sister. I got two big sisters. They're both beautiful. Okay, my big sister, 8 years older than me. When I was a little kid, we'd go to a movie. I like to pretend that people would look at us and say, wow, look at that beautiful girl and her little short boyfriend. You know, just so I can have this beautiful. I love my big sister, my big brother. Let me ask you something. Let me tell you something. If you die now, they will start to forget you. They will hold as much memory of you as possible in their brain, but you will become a used guy. I used to have a big brother. He's really cool. He played bass guitar in his own band. I used to have a big sister. She used to tell me some of the greatest stories. But you know, he died when I was little. And I don't really remember him that well. Now I got some of you. I still don't have you yet. Yeah, me and my folks don't get along, and I'm an only child. Suck on that and tell me how it tastes, buddy, huh? Lincoln, Vio, I watched you come in today. You looked for your friends. You're not sitting by some stranger. You got up in the bleachers and you were waiting till your friend came in. When your friend came in, look at your friends next to you. Let me ask you a question. Theo, Lincoln, do you like your friends? Okay, do you love your friends? You can tell your friends you love them. Share a little love for just a second. Tell your friends you love them.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you too. I'd give you a hug, but my hand's kind of full with the phone.
There's girls over this lady across the couple guys are hitting each other up there because that's like they love each other. So with that friend of yours in mind, oh, I see. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
You alright?
If you love your friends, you're going to let them die. How about you make a promise to that friend right now? I'm not going to let you die. I'm going to take care of you. So how do we take care of each other? How do we take care of each other? This is what it comes down to. You guys have all the motivation in the world right now. You have all the motivation in the world right now, hearing the stories you've heard today, to take care of each other. But how do you do it? I'd be lying if I didn't tell you this. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you this. It's hard to take your keys away from them, take your friend's keys away from them. It really is. See, you can't do it after the party started. You gotta make a plan because you're gonna take care of each other, right? You gotta take good care of each other. You gotta have a plan ahead of time. Who's driving tonight? I'm not letting him drink. I'm not letting him smoke. And you know what? It's hard for you guys. You know why? There are so many ways to get messed up. With us, it was just beer and maybe pot. If you hand me a gummy bear, unless I unwrap it myself, I'm not eating it.
They do that too. Alcohol gummy bears, they do that. Holy shit.
You live in a world that wants you in an altered state of consciousness, and you've got to take care of each other. So how do you do it? It's real simple. Make a plan ahead of time, right? These guys up here, they're already planning for this weekend. You guys are already planning for this weekend, right? Because you told me you were driving. Okay. Stone cold sober, taking care of those guys. All right. Okay. I got those 4 or 5 taken care of. How do you get the keys away from somebody? Ruben. Can you help me out, Ruben? Okay. This is my home, Ruben. He thinks I talk too much, but we love each other anyway. Okay? We're going to act out a little play for you, okay? This is me, Ruben. This is, you're going to go in the 4th period. It's going to happen. Just know that, okay? This is me and Ruben, and we're at a party, but he's not wearing his uniform. Okay? And I have a drink in my hand.
Chris, you told me you weren't drinking tonight. You decided you're the driver.
I'm driving, but it's just one drink, and I'm going to have it now, and we're not leaving for several hours, so I'll be completely sober by the time I leave.
No, that's not going to work. I haven't had anything to drink. Just go ahead and give me the keys. I'll drive tonight.
No, man, I got it. It's my car. I'm not going to give my keys. If you go, this is it. One drink, a couple hours, everything will be okay.
No. Just give me the keys. Let me drive.
Look, Ruth, I'll see you later. I got some things to do. Take the keys away. Now, Lincoln Unified School District is going to issue a taser to every one of you at the back door.
An actual taser?
Maybe. I'll do it.
You give it 7 ahead of time. Take care of each other. I want you to practice right now. Turn to your friend. Say, I'm driving. Give me the keys.
I'm driving. Give me your keys.
Give me the keys. Give me the keys.
I get my keys.
Give me that.
No, my keys.
Now, okay, don't start fighting yet. I have a few more things to say to you. If you agree on it ahead of time, it's all good. My 4 friends up here, it's not going to be a problem giving him the keys, right? Because he's driving. Take care of each other. Now listen. What about if it's a date?
What?
Okay. I need all your attention. Because I love attention. Okay. What about if it's a date? If it's a date, there's 2 people involved, right? The askee and the asker. If someone asks you to go out with them, what's your plan for getting home? Real simple.
I'm so shaky.
Ladies, you're not going to tap that guy and grab the keys out of his hands. You're going to make an agreement ahead of time.
Yeah, I feel my hand shaking. It's shaking the whole camera.
And it's real simple. This is what I taught my daughter when she was 12 years old. When she was 12 years old, you're going to be my daughter's date. This is what I taught my daughter. I taught her that in any situation where you were uncomfortable, you were to grab both of his hands and both of yours and look him in the eye and say, "Don't make my father have to kill you."
What? Yeah, okay. That hit hard.
Never find your body.
Oh, yeah, no.
If there's two of you and you're going on a date, whoever initiated the date needs to make sure you get home safely. Uber, something, anything, right? Okay. We swap keys, we make promises to each other. I want this all to stick in your memory. What? Maybe, Aaron, can you come be my DJ for me? I need some music.
Oh my God.
Give me something that'll stick in their memory, okay?
I wonder what it's gonna be.
Oh no, they just roll us.
Are you doing something stupid? I can make you sell. We don't wanna have to bury you or place your ashes up on a shelf. You need a piece. I can't let you drink crazy. Are you doing something stupid? So stupid.
I gotta do this.
Please don't die. That wasn't exactly what I had in mind. Can you have some food on there for me? Give me something else to stick in there.
What?
Okay.
Check it out. Take care of your brother. Take care of your sister. Take care of your girlfriend. Take care of your mister. Driving around's gonna take it from you. Driving around's gonna take it away. Put their body in the burial plot. You can see this.
Yeah! Woo!
You can say the most now. 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 Say, take away the keys. Just give me the keys. Take away
the keys. Take away the keys. Just away the keys. Just give me the keys.
Take away the keys. Just give me the keys. Last time. Take away the keys.
Just give me the keys.
Hey, everybody together.
That was dope.
That was kind of a little.
That was cool.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I know, I'm almost done. I know I still don't have all of you. I know I still I know I still don't have all of you. Now hang on just a second, I got 2 more sentences to say. But I need you. I need you to hear me.
Jesus Christ, everyone's in the way.
I need you to hear me.
People keep walking past the camera.
I need you to hear me. Right now, I don't have all of you. Right now, I got a few of you who are saying, look at him. Big old stupid microphone waving, sunglasses waving, Fred Flintstone looking guy. You don't have to listen to me as a retired deputy sheriff who buried a lot of your friends. You don't have to listen to me as some guy who just walked in here and talked to you. But would you listen to me as the 5-year-old boy I was when my daddy died drunk in a car crash? Would you listen to me Would you listen to me as the 9-year-old boy I was when my big brother, who was 19 years old, was killed by a drunk driver? Coming home from a party? Would you listen to me as the 16-year-old I was when my uncle was killed on the same highway my father died? Friends, there's a lot of folks up here who are the other guy. Take care of each other. Stomp each other. Plan ahead with each other. Because we're not going to be there, but you are. And if you really want to do grown-up things, you got to make those grown-up decisions to take care of each other. God bless you, man. God bless you.